Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a really powerful story by Munshi Premchand called Unmaad, which, translates to frenzy.
And that question right there is at the very heart of this story. It's about a man who gets caught between two totally different worlds, and the woman who ends up paying the price for his success. So let's get into it.
Okay, so our story kicks off with a guy named Manhar. He's a humble clerk, pretty ordinary, but his life is about to completely change, and it's all thanks to the absolute devotion of his wife, Vageshwari.
At the beginning, Manhar is this incredibly grateful guy. He absolutely knows, that everything he has is because of her. He sees her sacrifices as the bedrock of his world, the very thing that made him a man.
I mean, think about it. She basically created this bubble for him. She ran the entire household, took on all the hard stuff, just so he could have the peace and quiet to focus on his studies. She gave him a tranquility he'd literally never had before.
And all that hard work? It pays off big time. He goes from being this unknown clerk to a national sensation after writing a brilliant book. And just like that, he gets the opportunity of a lifetime, a government scholarship to go study in England.
But this is where everything starts to change. Because England is a whole different ballgame, with a totally new set of rules for how to get ahead. And these rules are going to change him right down to his core.
You see, in London society, he learns really fast that a wife isn't just a partner. No, she's a strategic asset. She's how you climb the ladder. And suddenly, Vageshwari, his faithful dim lamp back home, seems pretty inadequate compared to the dazzling electric light of a modern society wife.
So he makes a choice, a very cold, calculated choice. He decides he has to abandon everything he was, everything he came from. From now on, relationships are just a tool. And a beautiful woman, she's going to be his boat to get him where he wants to go.
And he puts this plan into action immediately. He's in a restaurant courting this charming English woman, Jenny. And what does he do? He starts mocking his own culture, making up these wild stories about India just to make her laugh.
But then it gets so much worse. He actually lies and tells Jenny his wife is dead. And not only that, he paints this vicious, ugly picture of Vageshwari, making her sound like some kind of animal, all to win Jenny's sympathy and, her affection.
And when Jenny laughs and plays along, well, that's it. The deal is sealed. He has successfully traded his past, his integrity, the woman who made him, all for a shot at this shiny new future.
So, on the surface, his plan works like a charm. With Jenny's help, he gets the high-status job he's been dreaming of. But, as you can probably guess, a relationship built on a foundation like that, it's not going to be stable. It's purely a transaction.
The moment they get back to India, the fantasy starts to crumble. Manhar, for all his modern ambitions, still expects Jenny to be a traditional, dutiful wife. But Jenny, she just saw him as her ticket to a life of luxury and parties. And of course, with expectations that far apart, things just fall apart. He starts to resent how independent she is, and she gets completely bored with him trying to possess and control her.
The whole thing finally blows up when Jenny just announces she's leaving. She's heading for the cool hills of Nainital, and she's leaving Manhar behind while he's sick and totally overworked. And that's when Jenny just lays the cold, hard truth on him. She holds up a mirror and says, "What did you expect? This was a business deal. You got what you wanted, I got what I wanted. We're done." Every illusion he built for himself is just shattered in that one moment.
Hearing those words just sends Manhar into a complete tailspin. The entire glittering world he built for himself comes crashing down, and he's left with nothing. Nothing but the ghost of the woman he sacrificed to get there. He has this one last moment of desperate clarity. He writes 2 letters, one quitting his job, one ending the marriage, trying to undo it all. But it's too late. The weight of it all is just too much, and his mind completely fractures.
Now, here's what's so wild. His madness takes this very specific form. When he gets back to his village, his memory of the last 5 or 6 years is just gone, wiped clean. England, Jenny, his career, all of it. It's like his brain hit a factory reset back to the time before he left.
And so the man he becomes is this gentle, innocent person. He helps people in the village, he's devoted to Vageshwari, but it's a devotion that comes from a broken mind. He has no idea who he became or what he did.
So when Jenny finally manages to track him down, Vageshwari says something absolutely chilling. She basically says she prefers him like this, sick and broken, because when he was healthy, he had lost his soul, Now, in his illness, he's found it again.
But that fragile peace is shattered when Jenny shows up, furious. And in that chaotic final moment, as she threatens Vageshwari, Manhar has some kind of crazed flash of lucidity. He grabs her pistol, and he shoots himself. His very last act is to protect the woman he betrayed in his first.
So in the end, you have to ask yourself, what really happened to him? Was his frenzy just a tragic mental illness brought on by guilt? Or was it something more? Was it the only way his soul could violently reject the lie he was living and find its way back to the only truth that ever mattered?
Thanks for joining us for this explainer. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive.